Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, for the first time on this channel, I have something from Oakley. Let's open up the box and see what we got, because they're very popular combat military boots called LT Assault. Check this out, made out of 100% leather, not waterproof, but they do have the drainage vents. We will talk about them later, although these look like they're fake drainage vents and not exactly. Are they real drainage vents? There's like a hole, but it's weird. Anyway, as some of you know, this is not a regular boot review. This review is specifically for my ultimate survival boot section. And yes, of course, whenever it comes to your survival situations, what can be better than military tactical combat boots that we have right here? And I have to say, I am a fan of these types of boots. They're very lightweight. They can be applicable on different terrains, and because they're not waterproof, and I know some people prefer waterproof stuff, but to me, even if they're not waterproof, as long as they dry up quickly, that's really what I am looking for. So without further ado, let's get into the review. How do we make the judgment if these are good survival tactical combat boots or not? Well, we make it based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin. Criteria number 1, of course, comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run non-stop, obviously wearing the boots, and then a 5-mile walk, again non-stop, no pauses in between, and then I continue wearing the boots or shoes, whatever I review, for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is about 8 hours. Overall, I am very happy with the comfort level of these boots. There are a few factors, of course, that contribute. Well, some of them take away from the comfort level. The very first one being the weight. Let's get that out of the way. I have my scale over here. This is size 10. And I would say this should be, well, it should be pretty light. It should be probably around like 12-13 ounce. Let's see if I'm close. 13.7. Yeah, not a bad guess. 13.7. Now, let me give you some numbers so that you kind of have a reference there. If you are looking for a good lightweight boot, you want to try to find something under 20 ounce. The more under 20 ounce it is, the lighter. The more over 20 ounce, the heavier it gets. And most of the times that's the case for the mid-size boot. With a full-size boot, I would say around 25 ounce. That is pretty good. 13.7. This is really lightweight for the boots, obviously. So of course, running in these, walking in this for extended periods of time, because they're so lightweight, you're really not gonna be bothered by the fatigue from the weight on your feet. Of course, there are a few other things that contribute to the comfort level. Another one would be the flexibility of the outsole. And here, as you can see, now don't get me wrong, this is not one of those cheap, flimsy outsoles. No, this has a very good stiffness, provides very good protection. We will talk about the outsole later, but whenever it comes to the flexibility, there's absolutely no compromise. So you can actually run properly in this boots without any problems, because this is a really nice outsole. Moving further, we're gonna go into the inner sole, and let me see if I can take it. I'll talk about the strings later, but as you can see, we have the whole you can climb up the mountain with these ropes that you have for strings, but we'll talk about that later. Let me take out the inner sole so that you can see what it looks like, because I am actually a fan of this inner sole. Let me take this sticker out of this. This is the new pair that I have for demonstration. So check this out. There's a very distinct heel bed. There's a very distinct arch support over here. Overall, very decent cushioning. And one thing that I wanted to mention, look at the material of the inner sole. It is designed to be dried up very quick. So you really can jump in the water, get the whole thing wet, and because you have the drainage vents, which on the new pair, it really almost doesn't seem like there are any drainage vents. You drain the water out of it, it drains out of there, and because the material is very light, because there's really no fabric that can hold the water in, everything dries up really quick. So overall, very good. But when it comes to cushioning, very nice cushioning on the inner sole. And once you remove it, there is another layer of cushioning. And I'm probably not going to be able to see that, but there's another layer of cushioning, kind of jelly type of feel. So you have plenty of cushioning for your inner sole. Really good. Now, whenever it comes to padding, that's the only thing that's lacking here in this boot whenever it comes to the comfort. No padding in the tongue, no padding in the shaft, going throughout the whole boot. I mean, this leather right here is pretty soft, but still, keep in mind, you definitely, I would say, want to wear some longer socks with a little bit of thickness to them. Again, obviously, socks, you're gonna get wet, something, so you have like a replacement socks with you. But you want, for extra comfort, you definitely do want to wear some thicker socks with these boots. Okay, so that was a comfort level. Overall, I do like these. In this department, this is really as good as it gets whenever it comes to the comfort level. Let's move on to the criteria number 2, proofing and protection. So, proofing wise, like I said, these are not waterproof, but that's fine. They will dry up very quickly. You have the drainage vents over here that will, although these drainage vents, like I said, because they're not as defined, as good as, for example, something on Denair Tekian. Check out those boots as well. That would be like direct competition to these boots right here, or Salomon Jungle Red. There's a lot of that stuff out there. Probably would be a good video to do a comparison. Whenever it comes to the protection, very soft toe box. Keep it in mind, don't drop anything heavy on your toe box. Obviously, you don't really have much protection in the shaft because it is so thin. And the same thing with the heel. You do have decent amount of protection from the outsole, from the bottom, but we'll talk about the outsole as well. Overall, this is designed more for lightness rather than protection. Keep that in mind. Let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Oakley, obviously very popular brand. These particular boots on Amazon, the link is in the description below, by the way, the Amazon link. Over 3,000 reviews, almost 5 stars. So people do trust these boots in particular. People do like them. And if you want to check out more, like I said, Amazon link is in the description below. Now, whenever it comes to the design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system. Now, the lacing system here is a little bit of pain. The strings are just way too, I mean, look at that. Look how much string you have. This is just, can be used as a paracord. But you have 6 closed fabric hooks, and then you have 4 pairs of closed hooks at the shaft. Overall, this is really what you get typically in combat military boots like this. Keep in mind, it takes forever to put them on, and it takes forever to take them off because of this everything that's going on. That's why whenever it comes to stuff like this, I do like boots with the side zip, just because it makes it much faster to put them on and take them off. But again, if this is what you're shopping for, if this is what you're looking for, you already know that, so you don't really have to, don't have to worry about that much. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 4 now. Outsole, traction and stability. Now, again, whenever I do my run and my walk, I do it on a variety of different surfaces. Older asphalt, newer tarmac, dry sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, trail surface, concrete, marble, tile, rubber, just as much of the surfaces that I can cover. And this outsole is actually really good. For this type of boot, it's really good. Really impressive, honestly. As you can see, it's very flat. It's super flat. So on sandy surfaces, these boots perform unbelievably well. But at the same time, because the rubber that is used, that very fine layer of rubber, is very nice quality, it's very hard rubber, you still have good amount of aggression. Even though these grooves, they look very flat, these corners are very sharp. So on surfaces like wet grass, it is a little bit on the slippery side, but not to the point where you're like uncontrollably sliding around doing like figure skating. No, this is really good. On the mud, fantastic. On the rocky road, very good. On the trail surface, really nice. And surprisingly, they handle very well on flat, shiny surfaces like marble and tile. Alright, obviously no point to talk about the ice and snow because this has nothing to do with winter. And let's actually move on to the criteria number 5, temperature. No point to talk about cold. These have nothing to do with cold. Alright, these are hot weather combat boots, all right? So whenever it comes to hot weather, are they good? Yes. Well, because they're so light, because the material is so thin, practically no overheating at all. The only thing is just whenever it comes to the choice of socks, if you want more comfort, you do thicker socks. Okay, now you have a little bit of heat generating, right? You want to do lighter socks, obviously it's going to be more breathable, more pleasant, but at the same time it will take away a little bit of the comfort from on your feet, how comfortable your feet feeling, because this material, I mean, you really don't want you don't want your skin to be close to this material, because it can be pretty irritating. But overall, temperature wise, as a hot boot, really nice, really breathable. Let's move on to the criteria number 6 really quickly. Sizing. Yes, these are true to the size, no problems there at all in the sizing. My recommendation is get the half a size bigger than your normal shoe size. I recommend it whenever it comes to hiking boots, tactical boots, combat boots, really work boots, just so that you have a little bit of extra space in a toe box for extra comfort again. Let's move on to the criteria number 7 now, balance of application. So, obviously you're buying military, combat, tactical boots. You are getting ready for survival, for tactical situation. If this was the boot that you were wearing in your tactical situation, would this be good? Well, the only thing that I can think of that this would not be good is really putting them on, the amount of time it takes to put them on. So if you are the type of person that prepares beforehand for the situation, you put the boots on, you're all ready, you have all your gear with you, something bad happens and you're prepared, you're ready to go, that's fine, doesn't matter. But if you have them in the house and something happens all of a sudden, and now you have to put them on, it will take some time, all right? It really does take some time to put these boots on. That's really my only complaint with this kind of stuff. But I have to say, I do prefer stuff like this, meaning that not waterproof, but dries up quickly, and very, very lightweight. I do like the lightweight stuff to me because, I'd rather have that mobility, that speed in a combat tactical situation, rather than having a lot of protection on my foot, but something that is very bulky and restricts really my movement. And let's move on to the very last criterion here in this review, is criteria number 8, the price. Okay, so the price is $145 currently on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Sometimes they have discounts, so check the link. It might actually be a better price, or it might be more than what I'm saying right now. So the price, $145, it's definitely a fair price, especially for quality brand, for a quality product that people like, that's been around for a while. Is there competition in that price range? Yes, absolutely. Like I said, there's a serious competition, from the Nair Tachyon. Then the Nair Tachyon is like a direct competition to these boots right here. Very, very similar. Also excellent comfort, also great outsole, also super lightweight. There's also Under Armour, stuff from Under Armour. There is stuff from Salomon. There is stuff. Wait, did I say Salomon Jungle Red, or was it Under Armour Jungle Red? Well, there's one of them. There's so many brands that created really similar boot in this particular category. Lightweight, non-waterproof, decent outsole, great comfort. That it's really hard. I mean, probably one day I'll end up making a huge video comparison of everything that is in this category. So really, I think it comes down at the end of the day to kind of your brand loyalty. You trust Oakley more, or you trust, say, Under Armour more. But whenever it comes to the price, definitely fair pricing. But again, there's a lot of stuff in that price range in a similar category, in a similar style. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about these boots? What do you think about this review? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below and I'll be happy to address them. Thank you guys for watching. This was Ultimate Survival Gear. I'll see you guys in the next video.